Greetings there, my fellow space farmers. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers. Episode 10. Making plans for potato hydroponics. Alright, so with these turbo pumps, I'm going to need a lot more insulated liquid pipes to get this done. And then like a liquid radiator. But before I make any of that, I want to make sure that I don't... Well, I can read it from here. No, it's still fine. I'm not super cooling my coolant, so never mind. I don't need to go out right now. So, I'll take this stuff off for now. My suit was off, right? No, it wasn't. Okay. Then I want insulated tank. Or, let's do another radiator. But this is going to be a liquid medium radiator. To cool down the water. Then I'm going to want at least one frame to put it on. And then a lot of like insulated liquid pipes. Did I make the ore scanner? I haven't. All my materials right now are in the pipe bender. And I want potatoes first. So, insulated liquid pipes. I also might want some insulated additional utility kits so that I can have more volume storage. There is a caveat to that, which is adding more volume to it will depressurize it and maybe encourage phase changing. So I don't want like so much volume that I have just like a tiny little amount of gas in the system. Because that's not ideal. Alright, so I have 1.5 liters here and 3/4 of a liter here for potatoes. Alright, I'm going to assume this is enough for this current project. But 16, that should be okay. Let's pop this open. So I know I need steel for the radiator and iron for the frame and floor. Oops, well, 2, I guess. I also don't have enough cables. So I'll print up some cables for the pumps themselves. Maybe someday I'll build a stacker. How am I doing on the tutorial? Did I check anything else off? I filled a bottle of water. All that work, and what I have to show for it? Water. Alright, that's probably going to be enough. 32 cables? Cool. Before I go outside, I'm going to want my suit on. Probably, you know, or death. That'd be a shameful way to die. Go outside without a suit. Helmet's closed. And I got all my building materials, I think, I hope. Time to go outside. So we'll put the water radiator here. Oh, I didn't build the kit utilities for storage, like this thing. I might not need it, though. So, this can be... Oops, I didn't mean to put it there. This can be real basic, like no room between, where we just pump to it and then pump out of it. Okay, you're gonna do this. Okay, hang on. Game's like, well, you're trying to do plumbing, huh? Let me just mess with you. I forgot to take a drink of water before I left. Alright, maybe what we'll do is I'll offset that back one. Because I want the plumbing here, but I don't... Can the pump not touch the radiator? Because that might be the issue. Or maybe it's waiting for the radiator to be built. Yeah, it's pissing and moaning about being adjacent, so I'll push it back one. So radiator like that. Pump in between. Cool. That looks about right. And then I'm going to want to pump here as well. Okay. Both the power ports are on top of one another intentionally, so that it's a little bit easier to interconnect. And then I can just snake this back around to here. My coolant at this point is probably done, so I should check on that. No, there's still condensing. Yeah, there's still steam. Never mind. There's not a lot of steam. There's only 14 moles left. So it's about to be finished where I have to pull the switch and not super freeze my coolant. And as I add coolant to the system, it will be less likely to be temperature shocked, so it will be better. So, this water is physically... This 2 liters of water is physically separated from... Oh, man. That's not good. I can't read this water because I don't have exposed pipe. I'm gonna fix that because that's gonna be that's eventually gonna annoy me. So I'm gonna move these over a bit. It's an easy fix now, but it's not actually finished. Oops. There we go. And I haven't even built the radiator, so it's not a big deal. Okay. That's better. So, 2.23 liters of water separated from this pipe network, which is the inside base. This stuff's going to get hotter by design so that I don't have to keep using the radiators to screw with my base's temp. Are we done yet? Yeah, pretty much. So once we're at, like, end of filter, turn this off. Turn this off. I'm going to have to go inside quickly for the pipe. Actually, I'll have to do that right now. I should have a method to... I should have a toggle outside a console to allow me to trigger that turbo pump from outside too. But now I'm pulling the coolant from the coolant loop into storage so it don't super freeze, because as you can see, the temperature is plummeting fast. So adding some logic for this process to take effect automatically is going to be kind of important so that I don't end up blowing pipes. Because that's... I got there just in time. There wasn't a lot of room for error. So I have 3 different pieces of water, as stupid as that sounds. I've got this water for potatoes, which eventually gradually adjusts to ambient temperature. I could have insulated this to prevent that. I've got this water, which comes off of the coolant loop, which can be connected through this valve, and then I've got the to-be-cooled water over there. And it's about 18 Celsius in the base, which is pretty comfortable. Okay. Nice. I pulled all the coolant before it turned to liquid. Awesome! Yeah, so let's focus on the water coolant loop, and then we'll start to consider potatoes. This should be empty and off, correct? The excess stuff in here, I'm just gonna poop out. So this evac chamber is, or condensed chamber is empty. And we have 2 liters of water. That's actually like not a bad temperature, so I could pump that into the base. I don't need to cool it. The reason I have the cooling loop is when I want to do bigger batches of water, raising the target pressure of here, the water that's going to come out of there is going to be quite hot. So putting it through this radiator loop is going to be important. The other thing this radiator loop could utilize is just a passive valve, just like I have here. So I'm going to want to add a passive valve to this loop as well. So that's to be added because I forgot that. So the passive valve is going to go here to allow the free flow that then connects to the radiator. That way I don't have to turbo it. The turbo is just when I want to move it quickly or something. Actually, I don't even know if this turbo is necessary. I could just passive valve the whole thing. This is where I definitely need the turbo because I need to move the water left and right. But passive valve here makes sense. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just design it with a passive valve. And then if I find that I need turbo later on, I won't recycle this turbo. I'll just have it on hand. So there shouldn't be any liquid in this system because it hasn't actually been connected to anything, so it's empty. So yeah, let's plan for this just to be a valve. Or no, a valve won't be able... No, I still need the turbo. Because I won't be able to pull water from it, and it will turn to ice if I don't have the turbo. Okay, so put it in the back. I thought it through. My brain did more braining, and yeah, obviously I need that. Okay, so we'll have the turbo and the valve. So let's get the... I might move the valve over a little bit so that the data port isn't obscured by the valve. Because I don't want to cover the data ports and then need the data ports later and have to rework the whole thing. So the free flow valve can go here. Oops. And that way the data is accessible. All right, let's get that valve. But even without the valve, let's test this system. So my water right now, let's get the water a little bit cooler for fun. It's 31°C. And it's obviously cooling down. And now it's 28°C. And obviously I could have left it in the radiator longer if I wanted to cool it more. but it works. We can cool down water, and the tiny little bits of volume that are left in there isn't gonna like blow pipes because it's minuscule. I could also have a way to outgas, but I don't think it's not going to be a big problem. So some of that liquid turned to ice. Well, we'll see if it actually. We'll check. So what I could do is I could have a purge valve or something to allow it to outgas. Oh, the turbo was set to slow. Yeah, okay. That was another one of the issues. It wasn't lower volume. But regardless, we'll see what ends up happening with this phase change that's within the pipe network. See if I need to engineer a better solution or not. But now we have 26.7 degree water. And let's, because this is the correct temperature, move it inside. And all of it instantly moved. Thank you, Turbo Pump. So now we just have a little, like a tiny bit of steam in this system. Nice. So now we have 3.4 liters of water inside the base. Almost all of it is water. Barely any of it is non-liquid. And it's 23 Celsius, so it's like not gonna make the base uncomfortable. And because the latent heat, or this of water, is greater than air, the more water we have in the base at the temperatures we like it, the less the base's temperature is going to move dramatically. So now, what are we doing? I am going to high volume condense water. So the current priority is do a high volume water condense. And then after we do a high volume water condense, so I have a lot of water on hand, I'll start growing the taters. I wanted to, oh, the labeler. I don't want to have to click 60 times to change the volume here. I'm just going to set it to 6,000, which is its max. As you can see, doesn't go any higher than 6,000. 6,000 is max. So the combustor's on, the water filter is on, the chamber is on. And then we just have to turn on the gas mixer and then allow for the coolant to flow. So this is the first 2 batches of water I made was like a low pressure test. This is a high pressure test. So gas mixing is mixing. As you can see, the condensation chamber is already, let's stop. The condensation chamber, you can see ramping up. And the valve is not a digital one, so I have to go outside for that. So replacing the non-digital valves with digital valves so that I can affect it from either side of the, from outside or inside, is going to be like a nice quality of life improvement to be made later on. There we go. The coolant is flowing. It's going to be a lot hotter than it normally was because I am doing a lot greater volume here for coolant. So my water is coming out at 170 C or something, right? It's way, 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 way hot. Which is exactly why I have this turbo pump, to stop the water for them being introduced to my base, because it would superheat my base and that would really, really suck. So let's go get a water valve, a liquid valve there. And yeah. Just making sure that these are connected correctly. I might want to like connect these pipes together so it is one pipe network technically. I know they are connected, but they form 2 pipe networks even though they're connected to one another. Actually, the temperature of this is 128 and the temperature of this is 335. So yeah, we'll definitely connect those up. We'll close the loop so that they're not like nested but interconnected. I'll just do that right now. I'm not worried about my, what is it, suit tank? I'm not worried about my dwindling oxygen. I'll be fine. I say cavalierly with not a lot of air left to breathe. Is that turbo set to low? It is not anymore. Okay, so now this is one network, and all of these radiators should be working at the same capacity, and the total temp of my coolant has changed significantly. The other thing I could do is to try to find the sweet spot. So yeah, this water is quite hot, 255 Celsius. Because my coolant is way hot. So maybe what I'll do is with my 5 radiators, I'll try to find the target pressure sweet spot. Otherwise, I'm going to have to add radiators to it. So I'm like tuning the system now, but let's go get that that water valve and maybe, you know, an air tank. So 3 liters of temperate water. Let's equalize the two sides. So you have 2.2 liters for potatoes and 2 liters for me, ish. Not out of copper. Here we are. So this pipe valve, when opened, will allow me to let the water that we're producing off the condensation chamber to freely flow into the radiators and cool. And I'm just adding a little bit more gas for the system to handle. Topping up the batteries. Okay. It's funny to have like a big old box. All this work to make a big old box breathable. All right, now with the free flow, we should see the temperature of the water plummet, which it is. And then once it is correct, I can turn on this turbo pump and pull all the water back into the main pipe. So we're doing a high pressure test where we're trying to find the sweet spot for our the amount of coolant that we have. So I'll try 1,000 rather than 6,000. Maybe that's a little bit more realistic. Coolant's still real hot. Oh, interesting. This coolant is different temperature than that coolant, even though they're just free flow connected to one another. Because pressures are different, I guess? I don't know. But there we go. We got 2.8 liters of water to be processed, and it's just over boil. But, yeah, once we're done with this, the mixer's off. So once we're done with this batch of water, I'll grow potatoes. I just want to manage this batch of water, because this will be enough water to subsist on for like a week or two once it's done. So micromanaging it so that I don't, like, you know, screw up the system and die or whatever is important. So this is our pipe that's radiating heat. This is the liquid radiator, and these are the gas radiators. So the liquid radiator is bringing that temperature of the water down so that it's usable. Because at 70°C, potatoes die. So speaking of potatoes. Potato. It uses a certain amount of moles per hour. So it's... We've got 108 moles of water in this section. There's about twice that in the total network here. So 200 moles of water, and the potatoes use 0.4 moles an hour. It does produce oxygen. It does breathe in carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide that I've been filling my waste tanks is actually going to be useful. I'm going to want to dump my waste tanks into my base for the plants to grow. It wants to be somewhere between... And this is different. So to back up a little bit, plants, every time you plant a plant, it has slightly different stats. So this is the default stats, but each plant will have its own tolerances. So there is a mechanic in the game that allows you to like encourage mutations to try to get like mutant potatoes that are maybe quicker to grow or require less light or require less water. Allowing, genetic drift, essentially. So the potatoes want to be somewhere between 20 and 30 Celsius atmosphere. For ideal. Pressure, somewhere between 25 and 200, which the base currently is. Ideal is around... Minimum ideal is around 50. Max ideal is around 100. So, like, let's say 80 kPa or so. It does not want to be illuminated all the time. It only wants light for like half a day. It requires darkness. Otherwise, you get heat stress. And these are all the factors that we're going to need to compensate for when, when growing the potatoes. So initially, it might be possible for us to manually turn on grow lights. But eventually, we're going to want automation for that as well. Automation for everything, slowly. All right. We are done with the combustor. We are done with the water filter. Oh, we are done. Ah, crap. Cool it. I'm coming, bud. I like how I looked back like at the perfect time. That's cool. It's gonna be a little hot, so I might let it cool. Oh no, the coolant above is quite cool. Actually, you know what? Let's switch the direction. And have the coolant go to a chill. Because it was a little not great temperature here. Once it gets down to like 50 kPa, I'll reverse it. I'm just trying to keep the coolant at like a stable temperature. And then of course my water is cooling as well. So this is a lot of like labor to manage. And we'll be automating some of it once I'm not going to starve. Oop, some of it condensed. Okay. The stress is lowering as the pressure goes up. We're okay. I don't need a drip valve. It was just a temporary phase change shock as the pressure and temperatures adjusted more quickly than it could equalize. So we've got coolant at about 0, you know, proper coolant. Pipe stress is going down. And then the radiator cycle loop is about to be evacuated. Come on. Okay, so we've got a bunch of coolant sitting at a very comfortable 1.68 Celsius, ready to be used again. I've got plenty of hydrogen. I've got plenty of oxygen. We only used up a small percentage of what we needed for the mixing. And now I can turn off that condensation chamber because it doesn't need to be on. I don't know why I didn't turn it off already. And water. Oh, good. It's still a bit too warm. Still needs a little bit more cycling, but our water still, it's becoming more usable. So we got almost 5 liters of warm water that will be pushed into the system. Once it hits, like, let's say 30 to equalize with the 18 that's inside the base. What is even in here? Low, it's okay. Dumping. It was a little bit of steam that was like stuck in the chamber. Yeah. I can cut that cable now and fix the cabling. Because it doesn't need to be plugged in. Nothing is powered up out here. Yay! Remembering to clean up. Having a digital meter on this will be helpful at some point. But let's say that's good enough. So pulling all of the liquids back into this main pipe. Did I... Oh, that was plugged in, wasn't it? I was like, why isn't it not turning on? Because I cut the power. I needed that cable. There was a cable I thought I needed to clean up, but I don't remember which one it was. Oh, that's funny. Alright, it's almost empty. And it equalized to about 31C. Yeah, clearly not that one. I don't recall which one it was, but whatever. It's one cable. It's not going to kill me to leave it out. So there was the high volume condensing. That got me 9 liters of water. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And now I'm going to pull the water from left to right, putting it into the base, which raises the base's temperature, the water in the to temperate. Basically, I want to keep it around 25, the water. So the water will equalize with the air, and I'll push it towards 25-ish. All right, there's almost no way to get the remainder. Well, the remainder is actually gas, so that's why it's not moving the liquid. And the remainder here is gas. So we're done. We did a high batch of water. We got 11.5 liters of water into the base. That is a good temperature. So it's spud time. Grow my first potato. It needs a label. Don't cut that one. Yep. Clearly it does. Spuds. I don't need any of this for potatoes. I will want to put some more coal in. Remind me, next sun up, that I should, like, go hunt for coal, because I'm low. All right. We can equalize the water between tanks. It's about the same temperature. So I'll put a lot more water for potatoes. That way I need to worry a lot less. So we have 7 liters for potatoes and 6.5 or 6 1/3 for me. It's fine. Potatoes are more important, obviously. I'm going to be inside a little while, so suit off, helmet off. My potato seeds are outside, aren't they? Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. The initial first pass of potatoes, I am going to be manually controlling the lights. But eventually we'll automate it. So what we want is hydroponic trays. I'm going to keep this real simple. And I'm going to make 2 trays to start. I don't want to grow all 3 potatoes because there's a risk of running out of potato seeds. Actually, you know what? I am so not hungry. I have enough food that maybe I'll grow 1 seed as a trial. I do think, realistically, I could get away with growing more than that. But I'm choosing not to. And then I think what I'm going to do is grow my potatoes in a very controlled environment for light. Meaning, I'm actually not going to rely on the sun at all. I'm going to block the sun. So what I'm going to want to do is to wall this up. I'll do wall type 4s. Wall this up so that my potatoes do not get sunlight, so that I can control the sun as a variable. Weird, yes, but the sun is, it's an unknown variable, and I want to take the unknown variables out. So my grow room is going to be isolated from, just sun isolated from the rest of the base, so it doesn't get direct sunlight. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets for that. At this point, I'm going to put the alloys away because I'm not going to be interacting with a lot of... I won't need to print with alloys. I mean, I might want like a plant analyzer and an ore scanner, but whatever. The sun is a deadly laser, especially on the moon. Yeah, there was a recent edition where on the moon, you get solar storms, and they're pretty dangerous. Oh, that doesn't look right. I'll fix that one. Hey, 19 days without dying. Woo! Also, got to be real careful where I point this crowbar, because like I can very easily remove a window, and we all die because I don't have my suit on. So, interestingly enough, crowbar is a very dangerous tool because I don't want to deconstruct the window as an oopsie. Also, I need 1 more sheet because I have this back wall to consider as well. All right, controlled environment. Got it. We are going to want maybe 1 more hydro tray. Or I'll make 5 hydro trays. Because I can always scale up. Oh, and here's the sun. We're almost out of iron, though. So if I make more hydro trays, I'm going to want more iron. But the player can subsist on, like, not too many trays. Then I'm going to want the liquid water pipe connection. Dude, I have pipes out there. I don't recall. I have insulated ones, but I don't think I have normal ones. So I'm going to do the normal ones. So cheaper. Okay, if we get a read on this, it has 26 degrees Celsius water in it. Nice. Next step, we need a grow light. Remember the coal? True. Steel and electrum. Oh, speaking of not needing my alloys. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon, one time only. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for feedback. I asked for no backseating for the series, and also because this streamed one time only, feedback wouldn't be able to be incorporated anyway. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodomont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodomont.com also has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that made it all the way to the credits. So thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Stationeers.